All right. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. It is 11:10 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bernie Strom, first one in here. How you doing, Bernie? Hope you're doing well. Um, Man, we got to figure out. I got to find you. Maybe we'll have to do this through Facebook because since I don't come to the Discord really at the same time that you're in there, so I just feel like we can chat over Facebook a little bit better. Because I do want to do our World Series, and I'd like us to pick up Digital and Dice again. So Digital Dice, Diamonds and Dice. I'm sorry, Digital Dice to the other guys, Diamonds and Dice. So I will, and I'll explain more on Facebook, like what's why, the what's and the whys and the wherefores. Okay. So pretty big news coming up, guys. I'm going to be like talking about this for a couple weeks. Till we get this all worked out. So I haven't heard from Mike Garland in a while. He's been really busy, but we're going to have a huge guest, big guest coming on the channel here in a few weeks. Derek Bain, who did all the great volumes, the hardball retrospectives and stuff like that. I was talking about him on Friday night. It was kind of cool. And Saturday. I'm sorry. Then I did a few broadcasts yesterday, and Derek came on. We didn't have him on mic yet, but we're going to have him on. This is, that's what I'm talking about right now, Philip. So, we are going to start it up again, Bernie. But I need to talk to you outside of Discord, and I'll explain why. Okay. I'm not even in the McGreevy Discord very much except to post things, but I'll explain. So Derek Bain is going to be joining us in a few weeks. I'm going to be working, see what times work best for him, guys. You don't want to miss this. If you guys check out the third broadcast I did yesterday, or the broadcast I did yesterday, it was after the Baseball for Windows game, and just kind of Derek putting some comments in chat. I was showing off his Facebook page and also his page where not only you can buy his books, either Kindle editions or paperback, but also just the amazing tutorials and all the crazy resources, amazing resources that Derek has. So this guy is seriously, a lot of people have read his books. So if you're a serious baseball fan, Derek's stuff is for you. Obviously, everybody in this hobby, and whether you're playing digital baseball or cards and dice baseball, again, I think it's must have. Full stop. If you're ready to make the jump from being a casual baseball fan into getting deep into the game, Derek's books, not only is it about just the gaming hobby and things like that, but he gets into very, very, very deep baseball, talking about transactions, things like that. Including his books are interviews with actual Major League Baseball GMs. So this isn't like just some random guy, out there just saying, "Oh, well, let's do this, let's do that." He's definitely got some cred. I mean, I don't know too many people in our community that could sit down with GMs and former GMs of Major League Baseball clubs. So, okay, so Bernie says he's available. Okay, good, Bernie. I will reach out to you on Facebook. And there's a way you can chat by voice on Facebook. So, because I'm a lousy typist. So we will definitely do that. And I think once you're here, what I have to say, then, I definitely want to just start things up. But there is a reason I'm not kind of coming around Discord too much. It's not a bad thing. It's just that I'll let you know. We'll have a little Bernie Beatles chinwag because I do love the podcast. So anyhow, so I'm going to be talking about that. And once we get a time worked out with Derek, he's going to be on. Tell your friends. Again, you guys know I'm not about building this channel. This is about our community. Yep, have new subscribers and stuff like that. But this is never going to be monetized. I just want this to be one of the many community places that people come to, just like Al Red Sox Fan and RJO Network and all that. But I'm following, I like that RJO Network doesn't want to monetize either. And I'm like 392 subscribers away from even thinking about that. And I've already thought about it, and it's always going to remain free. I want this to be community, and I don't want people to have to pay, and I don't want people to have to sit through ads. I don't like them, and I think it would be terrible for me to. It'd be terribly hypocritical for me to say, "Well, I hate ads, but I'm going to make you sit through a stupid Ford F-150 commercial or something like that, or whatever." I don't know. Other news, February 9th is coming upon us here soon, gentlemen. So that's the day of the Super Bowl baseball spectacular thingy. Going to be a marathon stream. Hopefully by then, I bought a new PC. So the only thing I did tonight was unbox it, and it's mammoth. It's huge. And I decided, okay, and because I had to work today. It was a rare Monday that I worked, and I'm like just too tired to set all this up. So, but hopefully by then, between these two PCs and the PlayStation and all that kind of stuff, we're going to have a lot of fun baseball to do. It's going to be, I hope that some people will show up. It's been proving to be really, really popular. We've had some people say, yep, they want to come on mic, call some innings of games. We'll squeeze a chin wagon. So I'm hoping to start that about 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. And we're going to go, so if I got to go run, grab something to eat or whatever, then that's when we'll have MLB The Show and have enough mods in this channel. I don't have to worry about it. So I can get out and grab a quick sandwich, come back up, baseball for Windows, whatever. But for the most part, I'm going to be here for as long as people want to be and want to hang out. And, even for the football fans, you want to come in after the Super Bowl, awesome. Whatever. And, I know there's a lot of you that are football fans but don't really care about this year's big game. So hopefully, as we've done in the past years, you'll find this to be something fun, because very, very soon, pitchers and catchers report. So we got to start thinking about baseball. All right. So we haven't played Decades League in a while. We've been doing so much Pure Sim baseball. And again, I want to say to everybody that I'm so very, very chuffed that so many people have downloaded both Pure Sim Baseball and Strategy Baseball and loving them, especially Pure Sim Baseball. It's a superb baseball game that Sean Sullivan released finally free. It used to be a commercial product. For those who might catch this later, new subscribers, if you join our Ned McGreevy Discord, you can download both of those games for free. They are legit freeware, no piracy, no crap, anything like that. So thank you, guys. We'll be returning to Pure Sim Baseball, certainly, and everything else. But we haven't done this in a while, so I just felt like visiting this tonight again, and that's what we're going to do. Nathaniel, he says, can't wait until baseball season. Can't wait for baseball season to start. How about it, Nathaniel? So the day after the World Series is over, I'm ready for spring training. That's where I am. So I hear you, brother. And we're getting there, man. Pitchers and catchers, I believe, will be reporting. But it's going to be sometime next week. I'm guessing maybe next week after at the latest. I don't know. I haven't read any exact date, but it's usually not long after that Super Bowl thing. Nathaniel says, me too. All right, so we can go two ways here tonight. We got Billy Pierce versus Curt Schilling, 1950s versus 1990s. We also have Vic Willis versus Carl Hubbell. So Willis and Hubbell could be a good game, 1900s versus 1930s. The only reason I was thinking about doing that is we don't see either of those pitchers too much. And while both are Hall of Famers, and I'm not taking anything away from Vic Willis, he was certainly a superb pitcher and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Carl Hubbell is a pitcher that we just don't see in pretty much anybody's channels, and he's one of the greatest of all times. So we will see. In the meantime, let's look at the standings here, and I'm going to jump back out of the play bit of it, and because it's easier to look at the standings over here. So this is a subset of the Baseball History Collection, which is usually updated every June. The subset hasn't been available for about 8 years, though, and so I'm hoping that Dave Cook will either update it, or then I'm just going to reach out to him in an email and say, Dave, look, is there any way, if people can prove they have the Baseball History Collection, that I can get this to them? Because a lot of people are very interested in this, and I think he really, really needs to update this thing, or whoever does the baseball game over there. So Nathaniel Lentz is he's voting for 1900s versus 1930s. Okay, cool. So we got one vote in, so 2 available games. So the 1980s are leading overall in the Decades League. They are 8 wins and 3 losses. They're a game up on the 1960s and the 1940s. Each of those squads are 7 and 4 and 1 game back. The 1930s are 1.5 back at 6 and 4. The 1970s at 6 and 5 and 2 back. And then playing 500 baseball in the 1990s, they're 5 and 5, 2.5 out. And then we got everybody else. We got a 3-way dogfight there for the cellar right there, the 1920s, the 19th century, and 2000s. So all those clubs at 4 and 7, so and 4 games out. So it's really hard to predict how this one's going to go. So far, the 1940s have been the big surprise, to be honest with you guys, just because the pitching rotation isn't as strong. And you can see over here in team pitching, they're not leading. They're not in the top 3 in pitching. In batting, they're doing it in fielding, but really they're tied with the 19th century. So the 1940s just getting the wins when they need them. I think it's more of a team effort with them. The 1960s started out strong, but again, they're just a game back. So it's really we're early days in this. We're just going into game 12, and this isn't something I play every day. So it's going to be a while to see how this thing starts to shake out. But liking what I see so far. The 1990s, interestingly enough, playing at 500 ball. So tricky stuff. Out of the park baseball with Mike Silva. So results. And unfortunately I can't click on that because I'm using StreamYard. But there you go, guys. You guys can check that out. I'm going to have to look at it afterwards, or maybe Bernie, if you could shoot that to me in Messenger, that would be absolutely amazing. All right. Oops, stay. Almost left the studio. That was stupid. All right, we've had one vote, and that's going to be the one we'll do, is the 1900s versus 1930s. I'm going to put the 1930s on human managed just because I want to give Hannes Wagner some more starts, and we'll use Bobby Wallace as late inning substitutions. I haven't set up like lineups like the guys do in the Fields of Dreams League. You also notice I changed the ballpark. So we moved out of League Park, and we are now in what is this thing called, Guaranteed Rate Field or whatever it is, the White Sox new park. So we've moved from Cleveland to the south side of Chicago. All right. So again, just as a neutral ballpark, let's set this lineup and then do some switchy around. So Hannes Wagner is going to come in. Bobby Wallace is going to take the bench. Wagner's been performing pretty well. I'm going to switch Barrett and Wagner. Trying to think if I went Lajoie. Let's look at replay stats to see who should go where and what. And then we'll just go with it. So right now, Wagner's OPS is 948. Barrett, where is he? Where are you? I know I could just do this alphabetically. There he is. So Jimmy Barrett. Jimmy Barrett. Now we're gonna put Roy Thomas in center field. I know Jimmy Barrett would like some playing time, but we're gonna put Roy Thomas in, and we're just gonna go with that. Okay. Oh, all the podcasts, nice. Yeah, Bernie, I miss doing it. So hopefully I can catch you like tomorrow morning or Wednesday morning or something, because I know you're 3 hours behind, but you're an early riser. So one of these days this week, just reach out Facebook, And I'm going to click the little phone icon, and your phone will ring, and we will be able to talk. All right, guys. I don't know what the damn thing's called, so I'm just calling it Comiskey Park. I know when it started out, it was U.S. Cellular, and then it changed its guaranteed rate or something. I don't know. Anyhow, welcome to the ballpark between the 1900s and the 1930s. So Vic Willis, Hall of Famer, taking them out for the 1900s. He's making his first start of the year, but he's going to be going up against Carl Hubbell for the 1930s. Hubbell, 3 starts in the year. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 4.29. 56 degrees of game time here at the south side of Chicago, but we've got a bit of a breeze going, 11 miles per hour out to left center field. And, okay, thank you, Mickey.
Play ball!
All right. So, and look at that. They're already cheating in and ready for the bunt. Let's look at the starting defense for the 1930 squad. And at some point, Lou Gehrig will come out of the game, and we'll be bringing in Jimmy Fox. Just because with 2 great first basemen like this, it's kind of difficult to just give one guy the starting nod. So usually Gehrig does half the game, Fox does the other. Anyhow, in left field for the 1930s, Ducky Medwick. In center, Earl Averill. And right, Paul Waner. That's a hell of an outfield right there. From first to third, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, will at least start. Charlie Gehringer at second. At shortstop, the great Archie Vaughan. And Archie Vaughan sees that his tutor, Hannes Wagner, is at the plate. At third base, Harlan Clift. Harlan Clift looking to pick up his season. Has not had the best start so far, to say the least. Catching is Black Mike, Mickey Cochran, and on the mound, the great lefty, Carl Hubbell. Carl Hubbell and Lefty Grove, 2 absolutely dominant pitchers in the hitter's era in the 1930s. These guys were ridiculous. All right, so Hannes Wagner is in the box now. Hannes Wagner hitting .323 in the young season, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. We'll bring in Bobby Wallace later if we need a defensive substitution or anything like that. Gehrig in at first, Clift in at third, looking for the Flying Dutchman to bunt. Hubbell ready to deal now, and here is the first pitch of the ball game to Hannes Wagner. Wagner swings this one a little slow chopper. Gehrig coming over and making the play. All right, and throws on to Charlie Gehringer covering, so call that a 3-4 putout, and Wagner's retired. Here's Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie hitting .297. He's got a round trip or 5 runs batted in for him. Hubbell has the sign. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fly ball out to right field. Big Poison out there brings it down. So quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning in Chicago. Brings up Buck Freeman. Buck Freeman hitting .206, and he's got 3 home runs to accompany 6 runs batted in. Hubbell brings it. 0-1 pitch. Swung on. This one deep to right, and it's gone. Paul Waner can only watch it go. Buck Freeman hits his 4th home run of the season and tallies one for the 1900s here in the top of the first. So 2 away now for the first baseman, Fred Tenney. Fred Tenney off to a .333 start. He has a run batted in. Tenney, a lefty. Hubbell deals. Tenney, little slow roller, and it's going to be Gehrig to Gehringer once again, and the 3-4 putout ends the inning. But the 1900s pick up a run and a hit. There were no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first. The 1900s won in the 1930s coming to bat. Looking at the starting defense for the 1900s, be George Stone in left field, Roy Thomas in center, Buck Freeman in right. So this outfield, no Hall of Famers. The 1930s, all Hall of Famers. At first base, Fred Tenney. At second, Napoleon Lajoie. At third, Hannes Wagner. At short, Bill Bradley. Catching, Johnny Kling. And on the mound, Vic Willis. Leading off here, formerly the Pittsburgh Pirates, right fielder, Big Poison, Paul Waner. We're going to get his brother Lloyd some playing time here at some point. Give Earl Averill a little rest and have Lloyd Waner play a game soon here. All right, Willis ready to bring it home. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waner lines this one hard to left, and Stone up with it. But Waner turning on the Jets, and he is going to make himself a double. So leadoff extra base hit for the 1930s, and potential tying run in scoring position for Charlie Gehringer. Gehringer hitting 270. He's got a run batted in. Willis brings it home. Gehringer lines this one to left, and coming around to score from second is Paul Waner. And just like that, bottom of the first, the 1930s tie it up. So the 1900s 4-6 coming into this game. The 1930s are 6-4. Charlie Gehringer on at first. 14 steals coming into the season. He has 1 steal in the season itself. And here's the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. Gehrig not off to a good start, baseball fans. Hitting just 167 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. All right, we're seeing a lot of lefties here in this lineup. In fact, the first 6 slots are lefties. All right, Vic Willis deals 1-1 pitch. Gehrig swings. This one lined hard to Lajoie. Great stab out of the air. That one would have been a gapper into right center for sure. Gehringer quickly gets back, and here's Black Mike, Mickey Cochran. Cochran at a 229 average, 3 runs batted in for him. Willis brings it, the 1-1 pitch. Cochran cuts on this one, long fly ball to right, and it's gone. Mickey Cochran with a 2-run shot, and that was a short-lived lead for the 1900s. First home run of the season for Mickey Cochran, 337 feet out to right field. In the 1930s, lead 3-1. So Vic Willis getting touched up here early. Still one away for former Indians center fielder, Indians and Guardians center fielder, Earl Averill. Averill not off to a good start whatsoever, hitting 172 with 3 runs batted in. Again, hits from the left. We'll finally see, well, we won't see our first righty until Joe Medwick. So just the 7, 8, 9 hitters, or the 7 and 8 hitters, I should say. Oh, Hubble as well. Hubble bats right. So there we go. All right, Vic Willis, 0-2 count on Averill. And this one on the inside corner, and that's 2 down. Here's the great Arky Vaughan now, tutored by Hannes Wagner. Vaughan considered one of the great shortstops of all time in the game. 320 average for Arky, 5 runs batted in. 3-1 your score here, just underway here in the south side of Chicago. Willis brings the 3-1 pitch, and Arky Vaughan, good eye up there. This one just a bit high and outside, and Vaughan is aboard for a power hitter here, Ducky Medwick. So Vaughan, 9 steals before the season started, 1 steal on the in the league thus far. Willis steals, a 1 pitch. Medwick swings, hard grounder to Wagner. Wagner's going to go to Lajoie, and that will retire the side. But 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. 1 in the books here in U.S. Cellular Field. I'll call it that. And it's the 1930s 3, the 1900s 1. Truth Hurts Wilkie joining us here tonight for Decades Play says, former infield Rich Dower of the Orioles passed away today at 72. Wow. May his memory be eternal. Always sad to hear about the passing of our heroes and all that. So Rich Dower up there in the big diamond in the sky, the real Field of Dreams. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that news, Truth Hurts Wilkie. Really appreciate that. All right, George Stone, Roy Thomas, and Bill Bradley due up for the 1900s. Down 3-1 here, top of the second action. So Carl Hubble enjoying a 2-run lead. But this game could go either way. These 1900s will surprise you. When they fire on all cylinders, it's a tough team. That 4-6 record belying how good they really are. George Stone hitting 214 with a run batted in as Carl Hubble brings it home and fly ball to right. Paul Waner has it. So that one, little screwball there. Carl Hubble, if you've ever seen some photos of him, you can see his left arm kind of turned a little bit. Yeah. So it's no wonder nobody throws a screwball anymore. Toughen your arm. But Hubble reportedly had like one of the best screwballs or fadeaways, whatever you want to call them. All right, here's center fielder Roy Thomas hitting 400, a home run, 2 runs batted in for Thomas. So 6 for 15 in the young season. 0-2 pitch, and Thomas, big cut and a miss, and Carl Hubble will ring up his first K of the game. All right, and here's Bill Bradley now, third baseman for the 1900s, and Bradley off to an abysmal start, 0 for 15. Might think about putting Bobby Wallace over at third, giving Bradley a little break here. Not finding his stride yet. 1-1 pitch to Bradley. Bradley swings routine fly ball lofted to left. Medwick camps under it, makes the catch. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and we've played an inning and a half. The 1930s leading the 1900s 3-1 here in decade lead action. All right, Harlan Clift, Carl Hubble in the back of the top of the order, and Paul Wainer. Clift hitting .097, 2 runs batted in. This is a guy that could smack the ball too. 22 home runs prior to season start for this year. Vic Willis with the 1-1 pitch. Clift swings and line drive base hit into right field. So here we go. Nice play out there by Buck Freeman, staying with that ball. Clift getting some good contact there. Clift not necessarily. He will pick his spots to steal, but don't look at him to be a Hannes Wagner or a Pepper Martin. All right, here's Carl Hubble. Hubble was hitting .286 on the season. So 2 for 7. And Hubble, a pretty decent hitting pitcher, by the way. A .219 average coming into the season with 9 runs batted in. Clift has a conservative lead off first. A little stiff breeze continuing to blow here should favor some right-handed hitters. And here is the 0-1 pitch. And Hubble, this one just tapped foul. Count, no balls, 2 strikes. Willis into the wind. And the pitch. Hubble sends this out to center field. But making the catch is Roy Thomas. Clift gets back to first. So 1 away as we get back to the top of the order for Big Poison. Wainer opened it up with a double down the left field line. Wainer would eventually score. 3-0 pitch. Wainer looks at ball 4. So Willis having some trouble here now as Charlie Gehringer steps in the box. Gehringer, RBI single that scored Paul Wainer from second, back in the first. All right, Johnny Kling with the signs. Vic Willis, 2/3 surrounded by 1930s. 2-0 pitch to Gehringer. Cut on. Easy fly ball to center field. Thomas makes the catch. Clift just gets back to second. He's not going to try to run on Roy Thomas. All right, here's the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. He lined to second back in the first. Waiting for Gehrig to heat it up a little bit. 1-1 pitch. Not going to happen here, at least at this swing. This one tapped foul high and into the seats about 20 rows back. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the great former Yankee first baseman. 1-2 pitch. Gehrig swings. Line drive, base hit. Left field. Clift will come in to score as Stone comes up with the ball. So the 1930s continuing. They've brought the Sticks of Ash today. 4-1 now with 2 down. And here's Mickey Cochran, Black Mike, with a home run back in the first. That was a solo shot. Paul Wainer at second, trailing him Lou Gehrig at first. 1-1 pitch. Cochran swinging from the heels, driven deep to left, but short of the track. George Stone makes the catch, and that retires the side. But another run, tack 1 on for the 1930s on 2 hits, no errors. 2 gone here, and it's 4-1 for the 1930s. Nathaniel says, after the stream, I'll look up the 1983 World Series to see Rich Dower play on YouTube. Awesome. What a great, great tribute that is, huh? You know, it's so when you hear about guys like Rocky Colavito passing, right? I mean, I've never seen Rocky, never saw him play. I'm not old enough. Maybe Bernie saw him. I don't know. But, you know, Rich Dower, right? We think of guys like Rich Dower, Ricky Henderson. You know, I remember his, right, when he passed just this year. You think of Ricky Henderson as this amazing athlete. And now to think of Ricky is not with us anymore. You know, it's a strange thing. And Rich Dower, right? I mean, 1983, 1983 wasn't that long ago. We're not talking 1883 here. Very strange. So Nathaniel, really, really nice way to remember Rich Dower. All right, here is Johnny Kling, formerly of the Chicago Cubs. It'll be Kling, Willis, who used to be with the Braves, and then Hannes Wagner, former Bucco, back at the top of the order. Johnny Kling hitting .265, 4 runs batted in. So Kling pretty much on pace for what's expected for him thus far. And if Kling gets on, he has some speed, by the way. All right, Hubble deals. Full count. And this one, easy fly ball out to center. Earl Averill camps under it and makes the catch. All right, here's Vic Willis making his first plate appearance. I'm sorry, no, he's 1 for 1. So must have been brought in as a pinch hitter. 2-2 pitch. And Vic Willis cuts and misses. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down. As we get back to the top of the order, Hannes Wagner up there. He is 0 for 1. Wagner swings, and this one a bunt. And Wagner represents the third out. So good quick play there to get the fleet-footed Flying Dutchman. 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third inning. The 1930s leading this game 4-1. Earl Averill due up, followed by Arky Vaughan and Ducky Medwick. Averill, 0 for 1 in the game. The center fielder struck out back in the first. Johnny Kling sets up the target. Vic Willis is ready to deal. He brings it. Averill, first ball swinging, driven out to deep left. But George Stone on the job, on the horse, gallops it down for out number 1. So a little Pony Express action there, baseball fans. And there's John DFW. John DFW join us. How you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. John, I don't know how many more sub-channels. Clinton had a request for something called Play Ball or something. I don't know. So, again, I don't, and that's only if you have time. And I know we talked about pocket pennant runs. So I'm glad you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're getting excited. Pitchers and catchers reporting soon. I know up here in Pennsylvania, we've had some cold weather a couple weeks ago. And just to think that baseball is just on the horizon warms the soul as well as the mind and the body. Good God. All right, Arky Vaughan drew a walk back in the first, batting in the 6th slot. Joe Medwick waits on deck, 1 away. Vic Willis brings it home, 3-0 pitch, and Arky Vaughan walks again. How about that? So Vaughan aboard now for Ducky Medwick, who's 0 for 1. So Medwick grounded to short last time. Willis, 1-0 pitch. Medwick cuts on this one high, this one deep. This one off the wall. Stone having trouble off the carom. Vaughan will score. Joe Medwick picking up the RBI double, and this is 3rd double of the season. And the 1930s just continue the onslaught. It is 5-1. 5-1. All right, here's Harlan Cliff now. He's 0 for 1. Cliff singled back in the second, looking to bring that batting average up. And in fact, he has. He's up to 125 now. Formerly the St. Louis Browns. Medwick at second, 1 away. 1-0 pitch on the way. Cliff swings. This one hit with authority off the wall. Medwick will score, and Harlan Cliff picking up his 2nd double and an RBI. It's 6-1. I'm going to make an executive decision. So John added pocket pennant run. Oh, there will be soon. I'll be posting in there. Thank you so much, John. Guys, this is going to be mercy rule here, and because it's so early in the season, and then we're going to switch over to the Kurt Schilling, Billy Pierce game. Because I'm probably going to eat crow here, but I don't see the 1900s. Vic Willis just isn't on his game. So let's take it to the 7th and see what happens. 9-5 ball game. And the 1900s are up. So let's see. And let's do a quick recap here of what we did miss. So it was 5-1 when we did the mercy rule. Well, then in the bottom of the 4th, Charlie Gehringer with a single, and then Lou Gehrig, Then Lou Gehrig followed with a single. Gehringer to second. Cochran flied out. Gehringer moved to third. And then Earl Averill with a 3-run homer that made this 9-1 at that point. And then if we move on to the next scoring, then the 1900s start to come back a little bit. Behave yourself here. So let's see. Bradley with a single. Johnny Kling singled. Bradley moves to second. Suter with a double to left center that scored Stone and Bradley. Kling moves to third, and then Wagner grounded to third, scoring Johnny Kling. So that was 3 runs. So it brings it to 9-5. All right. So Hubble was still in there, but definitely so pulled out of the game and brought in as Harry Suter. So Harry Suter on in relief now for Vic Willis. All right, we'll see how this inning plays out since they are within 4 runs. All right. And I really don't know what's going on there. There we go. All right, Hubble ready to go. The 1-1 pitch. This one hit hard to left field. And there we go. I'm glad we didn't completely end the game. Buck Freeman, his second home run today, and it's 9-6. All right, we'll hang around here for a while. And here's Fred Tenney. So Fred Tenney in the ball game is 0 for 3, grounded to second his last time up. And FAC Sports Desk with Paul. See that? We invoke Pocket Pennant Run, and Paul joins us. He says, "Morning from Cyprus, everyone." And I would say to Paul, "You fancy a jam, bossy?" How are you, Paul? It's great to see you. So Vaughn had a monster 1935 season. Welcome in, Todd B. 308 or 385 average, right? 19 home runs, 99 ribbies, a 491 on base percentage, and 607 slugging percentage. Yeah, he really did. Fantastic player. And a fantastic shortstop. And I guess when you got Wagner as your teacher, that helps. But you got to have the talent. Vaughn, of course, his life cut very short. I believe Archie drowned, unfortunately. Ugh. All right, nobody out. Here's Fred Tenney, 9-6 your score. The 1900s are saying, wait, man, don't be doing that quick play stuff just yet. Carl Hubble, the screwball man, 1-0 pitch. This one grounded back to Hubble. Hubble to Gehrig, and just getting Fred Tenney by a gnat's eyelash. So 1 away for George Stone. And how is George Stone doing in the game? He's 1 for 3, singled in the infield back in the 7th inning. And that was that 3-run 7th for the 1900s. Hubble brings it home, 2-1 pitch. And lined. Oh, what a great play by Charlie Gehringer. Able to make the grab. Again, another gapper saved there by the mechanical man. All right. Roy Thomas is 0 for 3 in the game. 2 down. Hubble's 3-2 pitch. Thomas swings this one long, deep fly ball, twisting foul into the stands right-hand side. So Thomas going to get another look at Hubble here. Good contact, but he swung too early, huh? 3-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit past Vaughn into left field. And Roy Thomas is aboard, and he can steal some bases. Here's Bill Bradley now. The third baseman having a pretty good day. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Jimmy Fox may not make it into this game. 1-1 pitch to Bradley. Bradley swings. Hard line drive into left. Roy Thomas thought about third, but they put on the brakes right there. Harlan Clift could have quickly gotten that tag down. So runners at the corners for the 1900s, and the potential tying run comes to the plate in the personage of Johnny Kling. So Johnny Kling singled his last time out, so 1 for 3. Bill Bradley at first, Roy Thomas at third. 9-6 your score. These teams even up in hits and no errors either side. Hubble from the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Johnny Kling, big wasted opportunity. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We'll give the 1930s another shot here. 9-6 in favor of the 1930s. And we will see Hubble, Paul Waner, and Gehringer. Might bring in somebody else to bat for Paul Waner. Probably his brother Lloyd. We'll see. All right. Suter deals. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carl Hubble. Swing and a miss. And let's do that. Let's bring up a pinch hitter. Let's have some fun. That's what it's all about. All right. So switch this to human. And let me see. Who do we got? Yeah. Oh, I didn't bring in his brother yet. I'm thinking of Alla Park Baseball. I got to bring Lloyd Waner in. But let's bring in Mel Ott. No, let's bring in Jimmy Fox, just a pinch hit, because I like Jimmy to be in here. All right, so Jimmy Fox will come in. Paul Wayner's out. So Jimmy having a bit of a better season than Lou Gehrig, but again, far fewer at bats. He's 2 for 4. Fox has a home run, 2 runs batted in. Bases empty for Double X, 1 down. Charlie Gehringer waits on deck. Suter deals to Double X. Fox swings, easy bounding ball out to short, and that would be Wagner to Tenney. 2 up, 2 down, and we're not going to switch this back because I got to put it. No, actually, we will. We're going to let the game replace Jimmy Fox. So, there we go. All right, Lou Gehrig waits on deck. Charlie Gehringer, 2 for 4 in the game, including an RBI single back in the first. 3-0 pitch. Gehringer, smokes this one up the middle. Little frozen rope action. So hit number 3 for Charlie Gehringer today, and it brings up the Iron Horse, who is 2 for 4. So back in the second, Gehrig with an RBI single. Lined out his last time up. Gehringer at first, 2 away. Suter's 1-2 pitch. Gehrig swings this one, no doubt about it. This game's over, baseball fans. This one, 11-6. We're gonna just wow. How about it? All right. So end of game. 11-6 is your final score. Wow. The 1900s tried to make a show of it. They did pick up, that one more in the 8th that we saw, but 2 more for the 1930s. So the 1930s improved to 7-4. The 1900s fall to 4-7. Carl Hubble gets the win. He goes to 2-1. Vic Willis with the loss goes to 0-1. On the losing side of things, highlights for the 1900s, Buck Freeman, 2 for 4 with 2 home runs and 2 runs batted in. That's a heartbreaker when you produce that kind of a couple big hits like that and you come up short. Bill Bradley did well, 3 for 4 with a double. Hannes Wagner homered in this game. We missed it, but it went 1 for 5 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. For the 1930s, Charlie Gehringer went 3 for 5. Mickey Cochran, 2 for 5, a home run, 2 runs batted in. Lou Gehrig, 3 for 5 and a home run and 3 runs batted in. Let's have a look here. Were there any of my favorite hits in this game? Nope, no triples. Home runs in this game again. Hannes Wagner with 1, Buck Freeman with 2 for the 1900s. For the 1930s, home runs 1 each by Lou Gehrig, Mickey Cochran, and Earl Averill. All right, looking at pitching. So Vic Willis went 3 1/3. That was it. He got roughed up big time. 10 hits, 9 earned runs, 2 home runs surrendered, 3 walks, only 1 strikeout, and an ERA, an unspeakable 15.19. Harry Suter came in and finished out the game, 4 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, a home run. And then Carl Hubble gets the win. 9 innings, 6 earned runs, gave up 3 home runs, struck out 6 batters, though, but with an ERA of 4.80, so it goes to 2-1. Player of the game, man, you got to give it to Lou Gehrig. You got to give it to Lou Gehrig. But let's see. Game's probably going to give it to Hubble. Nope, Lou Gehrig. We got it right this time. So Lou Gehrig is your player of the game. So there we go. Yes, thank you. It always reminds me of what I can do. I love that. MLB upholds decision to fire umpire at Hoburg for violating gambling rules, and it should be. It should be. So Paul says that Action PC, for him, always the best looking game. He has many complete seasons. Awesome. He says mini seasons, that is. So, yeah, guys, glad you enjoy it. I'll go ahead and do one more here. If people hang around, that's cool. People go to sleep, that's also cool, too. All right. So we've only been on for 45 minutes. Let's do the... we'll go here and we'll see Billy Pierce, because we don't see Billy Pierce too much. All right, this is going to be Pierce versus Schilling, the 1950s decade at 4-6, the 1990s at 5-5. And we'll go ahead and put 1990s as the human manager or human managed, and let's play. All right, and we're just going to let the computer do its thing, and let's go. All right, we're back here at U.S. Cellular Guaranteed Rate Field, where the 1950s will take on the 1990s. It's going to be Robin Roberts, actually. Okay, so we have a substitution. So we're not going to see Billy Pierce after all, but Robin Roberts, all good. Robin Roberts taking the mound for the 1950s. 2 starts in the year, and he's 1-1. His ERA at 2.25. This will be his first start against the 1990s team. And taking the hill opposing him will be Curt Schilling. Schilling just 1 start in a year, 1-0, and an ERA of zip. So 61 degrees, getting a little nicer here now in an alternate Chicago. Wind speed, though, 16 miles per hour going out left. And thank you, Richie Ashburn. We know you're there.
Play ball.
All right, looking at the starting defense for the 1990 squad in left field, it's Albert Bell. In center, Ken Griffey Jr. In right field, Tim Salmon, Mr. Angel. Going around the horn from first to third, we got Jeff Bagwell holding down first. Roberto Alomar at the Keystone sack. At shortstop, Omar Vizquel. At third base, Robin Ventura. And catching Ivan, the second Pudge Rodriguez. Curt Schilling will start things off here against Richie Ashburn. Ashburn hitting just 194 with a run batted in. We're underway here. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Ashburn wanting to get up over 200. Ground ball. Alomar bobbles, able to recover and fires on to Jeff Bagwell. So good recovery there by Alomar for out number 1. And here's Jackie Jensen, right fielder. So Bernie Strom would know all about Jackie Jensen. Jensen hitting just 147. He does have 2 round trippers, 5 runs batted in. Pudge sets the target for Curt Schilling. No blood on the sock here. 2-1 pitch. Jensen lines this one. Soft liner right to Robbie Alomar. So quickly 2 up and 2 down for the great Minnie Minoso. Minoso hitting 308 with 4 runs batted in. So he's 12 for 39 overall. For Minnie. Minnie also has 2 doubles. Schilling brings it home. 0-2 pitch ahead of Minoso. And Minoso, big wave and a miss. And that's it. We go to the bottom of the first inning as they go in order. And it's the 1950s nothing. The 1990s coming to bat, looking at the starting defense for the 1950s in left field. Minnie Minoso in center. Richie Ashburn. And right, Jackie Jensen. Around the horn, we have at first base, Gil Hodges. At second, Red Schoendienst. At short, let's play 2, Mr. Banks. At third base, Eddie Yost. And catching will be Yogi Berra. It ain't over till it's over. And Robin Roberts. Fantastic pitcher on the hill for the 1950s. All right. Bernie Strom says 1958 MVP, Jackie Jensen. All right. Robbie Alomar leads things off. The switchy bats left against the righty Robin Roberts. And here we go. 2-0 pitch. Alomar skies this to right. Jensen ranging in, making the play. So Jensen out there, he's got good range and he's got a pretty good arm out there in right field. So you probably want to hit it more toward Minoso or out to Richie Ashburn, but not that there are any slouches, but Jensen pretty strong out there, as you can see. All right, here's Omar Vizquel hitting 250, 2 runs batted in. The lefty waits and switchy waits, batting left, and Schoendienst to Hodges, and that's a textbook 4-3 put out if I've ever seen one. So quickly 2 away for Pudge Rodriguez. Rodriguez looks like he is making his first plate appearance of the season. Robert steals the 1-2 pitch. Rodriguez smokes this one into center field. Ashburn getting to the ball and firing it in quickly. So Rodriguez aboard, and that will bring up Jeff Bagwell. Dangerous hitter, has just 1 home run thus far in the season and hitting just 160. But last season, Bagwell with 43 home runs, 124 runs batted in. All right, Roberts not looking like he's phased at all by Jeff Bagwell. And the 1-1 pitch. Bagwell sends this one out to center field. Ashburn backpedals on the ball and brings the horsehide down into the big old slab of cow that he's wearing. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We've played 1 and we are scoreless. All right, Gil Hodges. Took too long to put him in the Hall of Fame, formerly the Brooklyn Dodgers. Ernie Banks and Yogi Berra. So we got New York, Chicago, and New York again. Hodges hitting 194, a home run, 4 runs batted in for Gil. Gil Hodges also has him a triple thus far in the season. Curt Schilling ready to deal the 0-2 pitch, and Gil Hodges swings and comes up empty, as empty as my gas tank. So 1 away now for Mr. Cub. So Banks off to a fantastic start here, guys. He is 14 for 40, so that's 400 for you non-mathematicians out there. 5 home runs and 14 runs batted in. And this is game 11 for Mr. Banks. Banks projected to hit 40 home runs. The righty Schilling deals 1-2 pitch, and Ernie Banks off the wall. Albert Bell playing it off the carom, and Mr. Cub gets an extra base hit. All right, so now hits on the board here for each of these teams, and here's Yogi Berra. Berra hitting 286. This is one of Dwayne Martz's heroes. 286 average, 2 round trippers, 8 runs batted in for him. Banks at second, not really a threat to go anywhere. Schilling brings it home. The count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Berra pops this on the infield third base side. Vizquel taps the glove, makes the catch. All right. Or I'm sorry, Vizquel. Ventura making the catch. So they're calling it a great play, but he wasn't anywhere near the dugout, so I'm not calling it a great play. No knock on Robin Ventura at all. Ventura certainly deserves his place in baseball's pantheon. 2 out. Banks remains at second. And here's third baseman Eddie Yost. So Yost, boy, what a bad start for him. He is 2 for 34, hitting just 0.59 with 1 run batted in. So Eddie would like to change that right here and get Mr. Cub in. Schilling, full count. And Eddie Yost swings and misses on a full count pitch. Beautiful, beautiful pitch there by Curt Schilling. That's it. No runs, 1 hits, no errors. We played 1.5. No score here at U.S. Cellular Guaranteed Rate south side of Chicago Field. Ken Griffey Jr., Albert Bell, and Tim Salmon due up for the 1990s. The kid just hitting 111 with a home run and that 1 run, just a home run. That's it. Projected hit 45 home runs. All right, here we go. 2-0 pitch. Griffey, fly ball, right field. Jackie Jensen had it measured up perfectly. 1 up, 1 down now for Albert Bell. And is there a picture anywhere in the annals of baseball of Albert actually smiling? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, Robert Roberts deals to the deadly slugger. And what does he do? Off the wall, Ashburn plays the carom, and Albert Bell picking up the double. So 1 away, and here comes Tim Salmon now hitting 222, a home run. 3 runs batted in. Wind's picked up a little bit now at 16 miles per hour going out to left. Salmon looking at that porch out there. 0-1 pitch. Salmon cuts, goes the other way, though. Hodges will take it to the bag himself for out number 2 on the play. Albert Bell will move to third. So potential first run of the game with 2 down, just 90 feet away in Albert Bell. And it brings up the third baseman, Robin Ventura, hitting 217. 3 runs batted in for Ventura. From the stretch in the 0-2 pitch, Ventura, oh my goodness gracious, cuts and misses. So big inning-ending strikeout, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 in the books here in the south side of Chicago. Still no score. So Bernie telling us here, he says Jackie Jensen retired in 1960 because of his fear of flying. Came back in 61, but retired a second time. Oh, man. Jackie Jensen, very, very good player. And there's Aaron Reed. Welcome in, Aaron. Good to see you, my friend. So we've got the 6 hardcores hanging out here for a while. Again, guys, because I'm looking up, seeing the name, I not only subscribe to Bernie Strom's Sports Replays, Bernie doing a lot of Fields of Dreams baseball right now. I know they're getting down into the nitty-gritty to it now for this season. But also, FAC Sports Desk with Paul. You guys know how much I love pocket pennant run baseball. And in addition to Craig Harris and Craig and Matt, we got to give huge props to Paul, who is just so focused and making so instrumental in making pocket pennant run the excellent game that it really, really is, guys. So much you could do with it, and I don't know, but just how Craig is as a developer and how Craig and Matt McKeever work dynamically, and Paul's play testing and great suggestions. We're just going to see some more amazing things, and I think that I'm going to be chuffed once Craig will institute a schedule generator that can be used with teams that you create in team management. Really, I'm personally waiting for that. I really want that schedule generator. And the lineup generator still, it's better than it was. But I think the community really waiting for the expanding more on Board Game Companion Lite, and already Craig having a lot of the bases covered. Remember, there's no syntax you have to type in the board game assistant. So going to be fun. Speaking of that, of course, Digital Diamond coming out in about a month or so. So lots to play. And remember, Digital Diamond Baseball, including the full Status Pro game this year. That I'm chuffed. You might start seeing more Digital Diamond on here because I love Status Pro Baseball. All right. Back to game action here in the top of the third, and it will be Red Shane Dietz, Robin Roberts, and Richie Ashburn due up. Shane Dietz hitting a pretty good 297, so he's just hitting slightly below expected with a home run and 6 runs batted in. So Shane Dietz expected to hit 10 home runs in the season. Curt Schilling with just 1 strikeout thus far. Grounder to Alomar, ranging to his right bare hands, and fires on to Bagwell. Score that one 4-3, 1 away for Robin Roberts. And I'm sorry, Curt Schilling has struck out 3. I was looking at Robin Roberts. So 3 Ks for Schilling in the game thus far. And we got a switch hitting pitcher. How about that? I didn't know that until right now, that Robin Roberts was a switch hitter. So batting lefty against the righty Schilling. Roberts hitting 167. 3-2 pitch. Good eye up there by Robin Roberts. How about that one? So curveball just missing by Schilling, and Roberts is aboard, and we swing back to the top of the order, and another former Philly, Richie Ashburn, the favorite of many Philly stands, and quite a very good player at least, right? Grounded to second back in the first. Schilling deals 2-1 pitch. Ashburn dribbles this one to short. Vizquel with a quick toss, and they do just get Richie Ashburn. So 2 away, and on the play, Robin Roberts will move to second as the manager already ran, or the coach already ran out with a little windbreaker jacket, and Robin Roberts says, "Damn you, I pitched in the 1950s. I don't need a warm-up jacket." So the pitching coach taking it back to the dugout and chawing on some bazooka bubblegum. All right, here's Jackie Jensen now. Jackie line to second back in the first. Rodriguez with the sign. Schilling shaking him off. Has one he likes. 0-1 pitch. Jensen cuts on this one. Hit with authority, and it's gone. Jackie Jensen, the 1958 most valuable player, with a 2-run shot here in the top of the third in the 1950s, taking Irwin, the tail of the tape, 388 feet by Jackie. All right, here's Minnie Minoso batting with 2 away. Minoso struck out back in the first. Schilling brings it home. 1-2 pitch, and Minnie Minoso goes yard. Curt Schilling is getting rocked here. So one thing about this 1950s team, there's a lot of power here. So Minnie Minoso, projected at 19 home runs. That was his first of the season, 382 on that one. All right, now a home run hitter. Gil Hodges struck in second. Can Gil Hodges go yard here? Schilling looking really frustrated, walking off the mound, tossing the rosin bag and saying, when I'm done with this, I'm going to go develop an RPG, which, by the way, is very, very excellent, guys. So if you like RPGs, do check out Curt Schilling's game, which is going to be, I understand, THQ bought it. It's going to be coming back. Kingdoms of Amalur. Beautiful, beautiful game. Nice combat, all kinds of stuff. Deep story, good stuff. All right. 0-2 pitch, and Gil Hodges, and high pop up, Vizquel Alomar, and Vizquel will call off Alomar, and that will be out number 3. But 3 runs plated by the 1950s on 2 hits, and those 2 hits were home runs, no errors. Bottom of the third here in Chicago, it's 3-0, and the 1980s will send up Schilling, Alomar, and Vizquel. So Bernie saying hi to Aaron. All right, Robin Roberts in the game has just fanned one, and Roberts finding himself on the happy end of the stick, 3-0 right now, working on a 3-hitter. Schilling looks at a 1-2 pitch, swings at it, and wonders how the horsehide missed the ash. 1 away. We go back to the top of the order for Robbie Alomar. Alomar flew out to shallow right center his last time up. Roberts kicks and fires. 1-2 pitch. Alomar looks at this one on the inside corner. So 2 away, and Robin Roberts now with his 3rd strikeout. And here is Omar Vizquel. Vizquel grounded second back in the first. Roberts looking pretty pumped out there on the bump. Here's the pitch. Vizquel, first pitch swinging, line to right. Jackie Jensen quickly up with it into Shane Deans. Vizquel aboard. Vizquel with 2 stolen bases thus far this season. And here's Ivan Rodriguez, punch singled back in the first. Throw over. Vizquel dives back. Close. Good move by Roberts to first. 1-0 pitch. And Rodriguez bounces this one to Eddie Yost to first. He'll fire across the diamond to Gil Hodges to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 3 done here in Chicago. It's 3-0, 1950s. And we will see Mr. Banks, Mr. Berra, and Mr. Yost due up. I know many people wondering where the Mick is. The Mick, I think, is injured, which is why he's not starting tonight. All right, Ernie Banks is 1 for 1. He doubled back in the second. Curt Schilling brings it home. 0-1 pitch. Banks swings. And hard hit ground ball on the right-hand side. Tim Salmon gets it into the infield quickly. So Mr. Cub aboard for Yogi. Popped third back in the second. Schilling's 0-2 pitch. Berra swings, and this one a frozen rope, and Griffey almost gets the double play. Ernie Banks with a hard slide, able to get around Bagwell's tag. What a play out there. Oh, my goodness. So Ernie Banks, good heads-up base running. I mean, Berra gets good contact in that ball, and Banks was off to the races. All right, Eddie Yost now. Yost struck out back in the second. 1 down here in the top of the fourth. Schilling's 3-2 delivery, and Eddie Yost cuts and misses. Eddie Yost likes to swing on a full count. All right, so 2 away, and here's Red Shane Deans now. 0-1. Shane Deans, best known for his years managing the St. Louis Cardinals. 2-2 pitch. And Shane Deets, little bouncer to Ventura. Ventura playing it and holding on to the ball there as it kind of slows down in the grass. Ventura knows that Shane Deans has some speed going down the line. So here come the 1950s with 2 down, not afraid to cause damage with 2 down. And here's Robin Roberts. So Roberts last time walked. Schilling brings it home, count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Robin Roberts looks at a strike 3 called. So a little off-speed pitch there. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Your score remains 3-0. Jeff Bagwell, Ken Griffey Jr., and Alfred Bell due up for the 1990s. 1990s have yet to tally a run, and just 3 hits thus far off of Robin Roberts. 3 strikeouts, has yet to give up a free pass. Jeff Bagwell, 0-for-1. Flew to center back in the 1st. 2-2 pitch. And Jeff Bagwell chasing on that one. Good fastball there by Roberts. All right, 1 away now for the kid, and he's fly to right for Junior. 0-1 pitch. Griffey swings, fly ball to right. Jackie Jensen, again, covering the acreage out there in the pasture in right field. He'll bring that one down for out number 2. And here he is, Mr. Albert Bell, laughing at some joke there, right? 0-2 pitch. And Bell hits a screaming line drive there to left field. Minnie Minoso up with his 2 down. Here comes Tim Salmon. He's 0-for-1. Grounded out his last time. Robin Roberts with the 1-2 pitch. Salmon cuts on this one. Fly ball, twisting foul, left-hand side. This one gets to the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tim Salmon in the box. Roberts delivers. Salmon straightens it out this time, but short of the track. Minnie Minoso will bring it down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 4 in the books here in Chicago. And it's 3-0. The 1950s lead the 1990s. Guys, you got any cool projects going on? Let me know. Bernie, I know you've been doing a lot of Field of Dreams, but you're still doing your you still playing any dead ball, or what else are you doing, man? You and I haven't spoken in feels like since the last time the Cleveland Indians won the World Series. So it's been a long time, my friend. All right, Richie Ashburn, we're at the top of the order for the 1950s. Can be Ashburn, Jensen, and Minoso. Richie's grounded out twice in this game. Kurt Schilling with 5 strikeouts and a free pass. 1-1 pitch. Ashburn swings. And this one in the alley in right field. And Richie Ashburn picking up the double. So Richie on board. Potential 4th run in scoring position for the 1950s. And it brings up Jackie Jensen, who last time hit a 388-foot tater. It was a 2-run shot that gave the 1950s their lead. They added another run. It was a back-to-back home runs. Minnie Minoso waiting on deck. So that's the scoring in this game. Schilling brings it home behind 3-1. Jackie Jensen draws the walk. Schilling wanted that call. Not getting it. Umpire quickly brushes off the plate. Ready to go now because Minnie Minoso went back to pick up another bat. In there now, and as I said, solo shot last time. Sorry for the cough, guys. Schilling deals. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dribbler to Vizquel. Vizquel goes to Bagwell. They will get Minoso on the play. So 1 out. Runners advance. Ashburn at 3rd. Jensen at 2nd. And with that, I'll bring up the first baseman, Gil Hodges. Hodges is struck out, popped to short. Rodriguez sets up Schilling. 3-2 pitch. And look at that. Strike 3 called to Gil Hodges, so 2 down. And here's Mr. Cub. So these 1950s, they want to add. They got a 3-0 lead. Ernie Banks, 2 for 2, double and single in this game. Schilling from the stretch. Banks, first pitch swinging. This one high, this one deep, this one gone. Mr. Cub, 3-run shot, and it is 6-0. Oh, my God. Two blowouts in this game. We're going to let them finish out this inning, let the 1990s go in the bottom of the fifth, and then we'll advance it to the seventh. If this was a Saturday night, we'd do the whole game. Yogi 0 for 2. He's popped out and lined to center. Schilling with the 0-2 pitch. Yogi Berra, long fly ball, center fielder, and Griffey brings it down. All right, here's Robin Ventura now. Ventura, nothing for one, struck out in the seventh. Or struck out in the second. So it'd be Ventura, Schilling, and Robbie Alomar. Robin Roberts with a comfortable 6-0 lead, and sort of a bad lungy swing there by Ventura. And Robin Roberts picks up his fifth strikeout. All right, here's Curt Schilling. Schilling, nothing for one. Struck out. Robert Roberts toes the rubber. Schilling, first pitch swinging, and routine grounder to Ernie Banks on to Gil Hodges for out number 2. Robbie Alomar back at the top of the order. Alomar 0 for 2. And Alomar, ground ball, base hit, right field. Jackie Jensen fields it. So Robbie aboard, and we know about his speed. Projected to steal 40, has 2 thus far. Vizquel now at the plate. Omar singled his last time up, 1 for 2. Roberts brings it home. 1-2 pitch. Vizquel swings, and Gil Hodges will take this to the bag himself. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We played 5. The 1950s ahead of the 1990s, 6-0. We're going to advance this one. We're going to advance this one to the 8th inning. And it's still 8-0. We're going to go ahead and end out the game. So quick broadcast tonight. I know a little bit of cheating on the whatever, but there you go. Your final score, baseball fans, is 9-0. 1950s improved to 5-6. The 1990s fall to 5-6. 9 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the 1950s. For the 1990s, no runs, 7 hits, and no errors. So Robin Roberts picking up the 7-hit shutout. We're improved to 2-1. I'm sorry. Curt Schilling, 1 win, 1 loss. The only highlight for the 1990s decade offensively was Albert Bell, who went 2 for 3 with a double. For the 1950s, Ernie Banks goes 3 for 3 with a home run, 4 RBI. I think you're looking at your MVP right there. Mitty Minoso goes 2 for 5, a home run and a triple. Jackie Jensen 2 for 4 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Let's look at the pitching line here. Again, Roberts 9 complete, 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 6, an ERA of 1.44. For the 1990s, Curt Schilling went 7. 8 hits, 6 earned runs, gave up 3 round trippers, walked 2, struck out 8. Not the best day for Schilling. All right. Montgomery came in, worked an inning, 3 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 1. And then Jones came in, worked an inning in relief, and struck out 2. I think it should be Ernie Banks. What does the game say? The MVP is Robin Roberts. So, yeah, okay, 7-hitter. But Ernie Banks is going to share in some of that, in some of that malt beverage. All right, we're going to let this advance up and see how we trade, or see how the standings change, if there are any changes. And we'll look at upcoming pitching matchups, and then we will get out of here. So the 1980s still maintain a 1-game lead. The 1960s, 1940s, and 1930s all at 7-4. The 1970s at 6-5, and nobody playing now at 500 as the 50s drop, or they gain a step and go to 5-6, and tied with the 1910s. All right, let's see what's coming up the next time that we revisit this, looking at some likely pitching matchups, and holy shit, there's a lot of them. Wow. So for the 1950s and the 1990s, it's going to be Warren Spahn versus the Rocket. For the 1920s versus 19th century, it'll be Carl Mays versus Orhas Radborn. Good one. The 1970s versus the 2000s, Gaylord Perry versus Randy Johnson. And these are all great. Oh my God. One of them, but Ed Walsh against Bob Feller, 1910s versus the 1940s. Of course, McCaddy and Drysdale, maybe not so much a marquee matchup there, the 1980s versus the 1960s. And finally, Iron Man Joe McGinnity to face Lefty Grove in the 1900s versus the 1930s. So those will be coming up in future broadcasts. When we return to this, we will see some decades league action here in Action PC Baseball, as well as a game or two from 1971. So that's just getting started. In fact, we still have some opening days here for 1971. So we're just started right now. The two teams that have done are both West Coast teams, the Giants and the Angels, each 2-0 in this 1971 replay. So that's it. So we had 10 people in here for a little while, and that was nice. 7 hanging on here at the end. Please don't forget, in a few weeks, I will let you guys know in the Ned McGreevy Discord, and also through Facebook posts and just announcements. We will be having really a luminary in the baseball gaming community. Derek Bain will be joining us 2 to 3 weeks from now. We have the big day, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime baseball thing coming up on this coming Sunday. And hopefully, after Bernie and I get to talk, we'll be returning to the Diamonds and Dice podcast, which proved to be really, really popular. And Bernie, the only guy that can keep me on point. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to more Pocket Pennant Run. Would love to get Paul Fay on here sometime. You're welcome, Nathaniel. If Paul, we can do it again, dealing with the time zone. Paul's in Cyprus. I'd love to have Paul just come on and talk about not anything upcoming, because we don't want him to give anything away in Pocket Pennant Run, but just, like maybe talk to him a little bit about, and I might have to do a little scouse with him because he is a scouser. But talk to him just, about the experience, how he got involved with play testing Pocket Pennant Run, and just his experiences doing that, because I think it's really fun to be a software tester or whatever. And in fact, that reminds me, I need to go off here and put in some time in Out of the Park Baseball 26. Because I will say this, I love it. There's a really spiffo cool, super groovy addition to Out of the Park 26 coming along. There's some really neat interface stuff going on. Performance-wise so far, it's a champ. And I have yet to run into a bug, and I'm just telling you some good things, but I'm not telling you what the feature is, that it's awesome. And it runs synergistically well with another one, another feature that was introduced in the game last year. And for those of you that like to go in and really fine-tune your teams, you're really going to be able to do it in Out of the Park Baseball 26 this year. So when that comes out around, late March, something like that, it comes out around opening day. That's all I can say. So my big thank you to Nathaniel Lentz for coming in, to Bernie, whom I miss very much, Aaron Reed, the man of 1,000 voices, our good friend Truth Hurts Wilkie. Paul, I got to give you a wrench. So the next time you're in here, you get a wrench. You've already been here 3 times. So FAC Sports Text with Paul, guys, please subscribe to that channel. Paul does all kinds of sports, but really he is your go-to for Pocket Pennant Run. For you guys who are new to it, join the Facebook group. Paul has a pinned link up there for the tutorials he's been doing for Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. So definitely, you guys, just buy the damn game. It's great. Todd B, thank you so much. As always, such a great member of this great family that we have here. John DFW, of course. Thank you, John, and always for your hard work in the Ned McGreevy Discord. already said True Thoughts Wilkie, but I'll say it again. Philip Reynolds was with us early in the broadcast. Thank you very much, Philip, for coming in. And Bernie was the first one in the ballpark. So that is it, guys. They're probably... So people are probably wondering, will there be a baseball chinwag on Saturday night? No. That's not happening, because if we're going to go 12 hours or something like that on Sunday, I don't think doing a 4-hour chinwag the night before is going to be a good idea. So might just do a warm-up game, or might just let MLB The Show play, because I haven't streamed that in a long, long time, just to make sure I remember how to do it. You're welcome, guys, so very much. It means so much. All right, till I see you again. See you around the batting cage, and keep playing baseball. It's coming, baby. Good night, guys. Thank you.